What is good, everybody? AHS Rules back again with another video, and we're back for another weekly Ring of Honor television review. But before I get into the review, I want to provide my condolences to the families of both Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt. Both are men that left it all out in the ring. Both are great men, and it is definitely very sad and heartbreaking that they both passed away this week. So I want to provide a tribute to them before I got into the review, and I wanted to give my condolences to their families. So into this ROH TV review, both I believe they said from Nashville, Tennessee, and Lexington, Kentucky. So Nashville would have been after last week's Dynamite, and then Lexington, Kentucky would have been after last week's episode of Collision. Nothing, didn't really matter in the grand old scheme of things. So the opening contest this week was Dalton Castle and the Boys versus the Dark Order. Castle and Silver start the match off, and they mainly taunt each other before each other tag out. A majority of this match is the Dark Order keeping Brandon Tate on their side of the ring until he was able to tag in Castle back in, who came in as a House of Fire, but it did not help as Dark Order win with their triple flip slam. I wish that they had a name for this maneuver because it is a great triple team trios finisher, but they've never said what the hell the name of it is, so that's why I always call it the triple flip slam, where Evil Uno and Alex Reynolds hold their opponent up and John Silver run towards the opponent to flip him to the ground. Next matchup is Kiera Hogan versus Lady Frost. Lady Frost got a win last week, and then backstage Kiera Hogan called her out, and we got this matchup. We get a bunch of different variations of kicks from both participants, including a cartwheel kick by Lady Frost. And we see a cartwheel cannonball for a 2 count as well from Frost. Hogan recovers from this very quickly with a neck breaker to win the match. I was saying it was like in a Fisher woman carrier, and it turned into a neck breaker for a quick win. I was shocked as well. A match that was built up we had a call out last week, and it was just right when the match was picking up, it ended very quickly with Kiera Hogan getting the win with the neck breaker. Like I said, I believe the maneuver is called Face the Music, which that's the first time it was called that. I've never heard it called that. Next matchup is Matt Sydal versus Sir Pentico. Sir Pentico keeps it a fast pace early on with several arm drags and a super kick. He attempts to hit a maneuver off the top rope, but Sydal moves out of the way. Sydal hits several kicks in Hurricane Ranas and wins the match with the Page Turner. After this match, we get a special preview of Samoa Joe versus CM Punk at All In this weekend. CM Punk versus Samoa Joe, number 5 for the real AEW World Championship. I almost said the Ring of Honor World Championship by force of habit. I will obviously talk more about that tomorrow in my All-In predictions video, but bit of a spoiler alert. For such a legendary rivalry, I am not looking forward to that match. So if you want me to explain it, check out the predictions video tomorrow. And speaking of Samoa Joe, his tag team partner in Ring of Honor, Stokely Hathaway, was interviewed by Lexi Nair backstage. Now, breaking the fourth wall a bit, Lexi Nair she changed outfits later, but she has wore the same outfit for the past 3 weeks, and they don't like to say last week this was recorded or any of that crap. So it's just something that I wanted to point out. But Stokely Hathaway proved that he was the Rough Rider of Ring of Honor last week with picking up the win with Joe, and he said that both he and Joe respect each other, but Lexi Nair was like, no one in Ring of Honor respects you, and walks away. And Stokely was going to take her to TGI Fridays because TK left his gift card on the table, but now that is not happening. Next matchup is legit Layla Hirsch versus Layla Gray. Both individuals have the same first name, but they are spelled differently, and I will be referring to them by their last name in this matchup. Hirsch immediately takes the match to the ground. Maria Kanellis, as she has been for the past month or so, comes out on the stage to watch the match. Gray hits a Fire Woman's Buster for a 2 count, but couldn't get out of a Layla Hirsch armbar for legit Layla Hirsch to win the match. I said Layla way too much there. Next week, we will have the Embassy versus Action Andretti, Darius Martin, Lee Johnson for the 6-man tag team titles. I wish that the Embassy had a storyline going on in Ring of Honor, because it just seems that, and they mentioned this in their promo, like, when are y'all going to learn the lesson? Because we've seen Andretti and Martin, they teamed with Arrow Fox in the past. I think they teamed with somebody else before, but the Embassy's like, how many times do we have to beat y'all? So it's just like, I feel like we're just getting a rotating wheel, and it's just like, oh, we're face these guys again. So I wish we'd get something different for the Embassy, because they're having a good title run. But a 6-man tag team title match next week. Next matchup, Brandon Cutler versus Blake Christian. Cole Cabana accompanies Cutler to the ringside. I don't know when the hell that started. I imagine it's probably a Being the Elite thing, but I have not watched Being the Elite probably like 3 years at least. But he mainly is cold spraying Brandon Cutler throughout the match. Cutler hits a dab elbow drop, and he kicks out of a Blake Christian Spanish Fly and Spicoli driver. But it did not help him, as Blake Christian won the match with a bottom rope 619 and springboard 450. I just went through the ending. This was a very long match, and it just like, Blake Christian would like hit something crazy, and then I'd go, oh my god, Brandon Cutler freaking kicked out of it. It was a lot happening. Speaking of a lot happened in this next matchup. Athena and Billy Starks versus the Renegade Twins. Earlier in the night, Athena is backstage with Lexi Nair and Billy Starks, and they're not matching t-shirts, but they're all Athena t-shirts that she made for them and made them put on, and that they're all besties in some sorts. Starks and Athena start the match off with double super kicks to both the Renegade Twins, and then Stark tries to hit a tope suicida to the outside, but the Renegade Twins catch her, but Athena, they do not catch her, so they all end up falling to the ground. If you've been watching the past 2 Ring of Honor TV reviews, you know the story of the Renegade Twins, and I went through their whole freaking history and how, like, oh, they're dressed differently. But guess what? The moment they start teaming again, they dress the exact same. So I don't know which one was which one tonight. But lost my spot. Athena gets tagged in, and she power bombs, and Alabama slams her own tag team partner onto each Renegade sister. The Renegades hit a big boot and Samoan drop combo on Starks for a 2 count. Athena then hit Athena with a double choke slam, both for 2 counts. Athena hits a forearm and an O-face, but Billy Starks tags in and hits a swanton bomb to seal the victory for their side. Athena was very upset that she didn't get the pin, and she chases after the Renegade Twins and brings them back into the ring, and she wants Starks to beat them up like Athena does every week, but the Renegade Twins ran off because Starks did not participate in that. So, interesting dynamic, that's a new word, going on with these people, so we'll see what happens with it in the future. Next matchup is a Ryan Nemeth Open Challenge, as it was Hunk Appreciation Night, and he was willing to face anyone, even a world champion. And the Ring of Honor world champion shows up. Claudio Castagnoli, a week after that great promo where he's saying, you don't know when the hell I'll show up, even though you're a world champion. He showed up tonight, and Ryan Nemeth was like, hey, Claudio, I didn't know you were here. We don't have to have this match. But Claudio keeps his world championship around his waist, as all he did to Ryan Nemeth in this match is the big swing. I don't know how long it lasted for, because the crowd quit freaking counting very quickly. And then Claudio hit a big uppercut to win the matchup. Now it's time for the main event. New Japan TV title match. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Christopher Daniels. The winner of this match will face Metalik, who won last week's main event, next week. I imagine it's for the... They didn't specify if it was for the TV title, but if this is the winner of this match, I imagine that match will also be for the TV title. We get wrist locks by Sabre to start the match off, but soon he then targets the neck of and shoulder of Daniels. Daniels tries his best to fight it off with many forearms in a Koji clutch attempt. Daniels tries to roll him up, but Sabre kicks out and locks him into a hammerlock and wins the matchup, which sets up Zack Sabre Jr. versus Metalik next week. And I won't lie, I was thinking in advance, because I'm not going to predict that I thought Zack Sabre Jr. was going to win, but I did. The Cruiserweight Classic in 2016. I am forgetting who it was. Zack Sabre Jr. Oh, I remember who the other person was now. It was Zack Sabre Jr., Grand Metalik, who was Metalik, TJ Perkins, and Kota Ibushi. I won't lie, that was the fourth guy I was forgetting. I was forgetting about Kota Ibushi. I don't remember which match was the finals was TJ Perkins and Metalik, definitely. I think TJ Perkins, we're going to Google it. We're Googling it. That way we don't look like complete idiots. But are we getting a rematch of the Cruiserweight Classic is essentially what I am trying to get at. But it was a very interesting and short week of Ring of Honor. And while I'm Googling this, I'll promote my all-in predictions video, like I said. If you want more AEW content out of me, I made an hour-long video of me playing the new Stadium Stampede mode. So watch that. I quit typing while I was also providing that spiel. Alright, we're at the tournament. Results. It was TJ Perkins. He beat Kota Ibushi, and Grand Metalik defeated Zack Sabre Jr. I won't lie. Then, and especially now, I hated it. I wanted Kota Ibushi versus Zack Sabre Jr. in the finals, but obviously they didn't want to stay in WWE. That's why I imagine that didn't happen. So we're getting a rematch of the Cruiserweight Classic next week. So again, condolences to both Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt's family. It was just a sad couple of days in the wrestling world, but hopefully we can stay together and keep each other afloat. So, got a lot of things coming in the future. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Stay safe. Tell each other you love each other. I'll see you in the future.